Hello and welcome to the EUC Show. It's your man John here, and this is the only show on the internet devoted to all things EUC, the place where you can come to be both educated and entertained, and who knows, maybe even find yourself along the way. It's News Roundup, the part of the show where I take a look at EUC headlines from around the world. And first up is this article I found while trawling around the various foreign news websites. What can I say? I don't waste my evenings. Fox 5 News in New York printed this story a few months back, and for once it wasn't about EUC riders terrorising the streets of the Big Apple. This was of a guy called Rick Madeira who was singing the praises and virtues of an EUC over other forms of transport, particularly in a busy city. It's great to see the press reporting something positive for a change. Rick does make the point that it literally takes him 4 minutes to get to work versus about 8 minutes in a vehicle. Hang on, how far away from work does he live? Why would anyone take an 8-minute car ride in a busy city? How far is that? A quarter of a mile? I can only imagine that Rick is one of the laziest people I've ever encountered. Only kidding, great job Rick on getting this message across. You lazy b****. Going the total opposite direction now, and I spotted an article from Kent here in the UK reporting public outcry at the use of rental e-scooters in Canterbury. I know this isn't about EUCs, but don't switch off. This sort of stuff has an impact on all PEV riders, so it's something we should be aware of. The report indicates that there is a surge of e-scooter accidents. Well, of course there is. The use of e-scooters has shot up exponentially in the last few years, naturally leading to an increase in accidents. This negative, half-glass empty and biased journalism is fueling people's ignorance to the values of PEVs, and is sadly mirrored in this report I spotted in a Paris newspaper, which leads with how locals weighed in on whether the city should ban rental schemes. A negative approach again. They didn't go with the headline about how to promote the use of rental schemes and make them safer. No, a sensationally negative, attention-grabbing statement. Sorry, but it gets me angry. And when you read the report to see the depth of their study, 80% were in favour of banning scooters. 80%. It doesn't say who they were. I bet they didn't interview many riders of those scooters who benefit from them daily and use them safely and without incident. And then you see that the 80% only equates to 76 people. They've hardly cast their net far and wide on this piece of journalistic excellence. There are 2.16 million people in Paris, and they are basing this report on a quick chat with a mere handful of them. If my maths is right, and 76 people equates to 80%, they only spoke to 95 people in total. They didn't even round it up to an even 100. Now, can an educated viewer of this show please tell me what 96 people is as a percentage of 2.16 million? That makes me laugh. An educated viewer of this show. Now it's time for Riders and Sliders. Here's where I show you some footage of people showing off their skills or getting senselessly hurt. First up, I want to showcase this talented individual. Her name is Nadia EUC Girl, and she's only 11 years old. She flies through the air with the greatest of ease and makes the majority of us middle-aged blokes green with envy. But let's not forget, fellas, when she falls, her young bones bounce back into shape and she's up and riding again. If we fall, bits snap off us and are left behind on the ground. A rare sighting of Coogee Rolls was seen this week, putting pay to concerns that he had ridden an EUC so fast he had activated the flux capacitor and been ejected into the past. Here we see him thrashing the pants off a V13 in a video that some are claiming is as rare as a Bigfoot sighting. As for crashes, well, let's start with this Deliveroo driver who is not providing meals on wheels, more like meal on wheel, but he does demonstrate the need for constant vigilance, as he is clearly taken off balance when he encountered a dip in the road. Maybe he misread the order when a customer asked for a delivery of nachos and a dip. Then his wheel bounces down the street and comes to rest in the back of a car in front. His lucky Deliveroo customer ended up with a lovely meal of fish, chips and gravel. And I couldn't do a Riders and Sliders this week without showing this. Here we see an epic crash in the AVS Race and Ride event at the Apple Valley Speedway in California, This looks like it was a fabulous event, and I look forward to seeing other similar events taking place. Who knows, maybe leading to EUC racing becoming a genuine, recognised sport. Certainly with spills and thrills like this, you can imagine it would gather a decent audience. It looks like the rider in front just overcooks the power, the wheel takes him down, and then in the heat of the battle, he takes out another riding with him. All is fair in love and war. This is clearly a sport of the future because when you play it in slow motion, it sounds as though Chewbacca is there watching it. I also understand that Bigode gave new wheels as first prizes and said they would replace any parts that got broken. So they gave away a couple of outer shells, a new motherboard, 2 kneecaps and a spleen. And here's the part of the show where I trawl through social media, bringing you the best and often the worst of what it has to offer. I know I have raised this a couple of times in previous episodes, but I am not done with this one yet. Kingsong keeps showing us images of their special edition 10th anniversary wheels, and yes, the pictures look great, but what are they thinking with these names? The Leaper Eagle, Sturdy Bull, Brave Leopard? What's going on in their heads? When I see an eagle, I don't think, that looks like an animal that can leap a long way. I think I've worked out what goes on, and it comes down to Google Translate. Here you see me demonstrating what I can only imagine to be Kingsong's translation system by running a simple phrase through the Google Translate function, from English to Chinese into Croatian, then Galician, then Nepali, then Western Frisian, then Yiddish, Tamil, Gaelic, Sanskrit, Ukrainian, Kinyarwanda, Sundanese, Albanian, Catalan, Quechua, Indonesia, and finally back into English to see what I end up with. So we can expect to see Kingsong's Flying Hare 10th Anniversary Edition any day now. What next? The Flying Pig? The Shrugging Giraffe? Crouching Tiger? Hidden Dragon? And finally, I have to show you this bit of artwork I came across. No words from me, just enjoy. And now it's time for Readers' Lives. This is the point where I read out some of the comments I've received on my recent videos. First up, Voodoo Ranger commented on my recent video, What Goes On in an EUC Rider's Brain, saying, "Your missus is a bit of a sort, eh? Book some Scandinavian lass, you lucky devil." Well, now we know the sort of woman that turns Voodoo Ranger on. "I've run out of some of my special lady things." For Scooty Boots, it was all too much. But Giffy recognised the rider I showcased doing a faceplant, saying that he knows him and thinks he was going down for a quick nap. I am now utterly convinced that this must be the very same Rick Madeira I mentioned earlier, who can't walk a quarter of a mile and now has to have a little nap while riding. Lazy bar. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the likey button. Keep sending me your comments and funnies so that I can add them to the next show. And next time you see a Jehovah's Witness on a street corner, go over and use all your charm and your charisma to convert them to this channel instead. Love you. Bye.